সালামু আলাইকুম, শুভ সন্ধ্যা সম্মানিত দর্শক মণ্ডলী। আমি শোয়েব চৌধুরী সুহেল, আপনাদেরকে স্বাগতম জানাচ্ছি বিটিএস বিহাইন্ড দ্য সাকসেস অনুষ্ঠানে। এটি একটি চ্যানেল আয়ের নিয়মিত আয়োজন। সম্মানিত দর্শক মণ্ডলী, আমরা বিটিএসে সফল ব্যবসায়ী, সফল প্রতিষ্ঠান এবং কমিউনিটি কাজে যারা অবদান রেখেছেন তাদেরকে নিয়েই আয়োজন করি বিটিএস। সম্মানিত দর্শক মণ্ডলী, আজকে আমাদের স্টুডিওতে এমন এক অতিথিকে আমরা আমন্ত্রণ জানিয়েছি, যিনি ইউনাইটেড কিংডমের লন্ডন সিটির হারিংগেট কাউন্সিলে সাবেক হাউজিং ম্যানেজার হিসেবে উনি কাজ করেছেন এবং অ্যাওয়ার্ড পেয়েছেন। আজকে আমরা উনার সাকসেস স্টোরি শুনব এবং উনি বর্তমানে সাকসেসফুল ব্যবসায়ী। আসুন আমরা আমাদের অতিথির সাথে পরিচয় হয়ে নেই। জনাব জুনেল আহমেদ, আসসালামু আলাইকুম, স্বাগতম বিটিএস বিহাইন্ড দ্য সাকসেসে। হাউ আর ইউ?
Assalamu alaikum, Shoail bhai, and good evening, and assalamu alaikum to all the viewers as well. Thank you for having me on the show.
You're welcome. How are you today?
I'm fine today, yes.
Okay, very good. প্রিয় দর্শক মণ্ডলী, আমরা অবশ্যই আজকে জুনেদ ভাইয়ের সাকসেস স্টোরি আমরা শুনবো, উনার এক্স জবের এবং কারেন্ট ব্যবসার। এর পাশাপাশি আপনারা আমাদের ডাইরেক্ট স্টুডিওতে কল দিতে পারেন, SMS করতে পারবেন এবং ইমেল করতে পারবেন suhel@channeleurope.tv. So let's get to Junel bhai and share his success with you. So thank you very much for coming to BTS.
Thank you very much for having me, Shoail bhai. Whether I'm successful, that's a different matter to say.
Now we'll get to that, inshallah. So were you born in UK or you were born in Bangladesh?
I came here in 1975, me and my older brother.
Okay.
That's when we came and stayed in Camden, in a council flat when we first came with my mum and dad.
I see. Okay, very nice. Did you so obviously apni school, college, university London e gechen?
Yes, I went to school in London and then went to
What school did you go to?
I went to a school in Camden called Sir William Collins.
Oh, South Camden.
South Camden, that's
now is known as a South Camden.
Now I don't know what it's called, but it was called Sir William Collins when I went there.
Yeah, Sir William's Collins.
Sir William Collins.
That's very good. আমাদের দর্শকের মধ্যে যারাই স্যার উইলিয়ামস এর এক্স স্টুডেন্টস, ইউ উইল বি ভেরি হ্যাপি বিকজ জুনেদ ভাই ওয়াজ স্যার উইলিয়ামস এর এক্স স্টুডেন্ট এবং স্যার উইলিয়ামস এর সাবেক স্টুডেন্ট, বর্তমান স্টুডেন্ট, সবাইকে আমরা বিটিএস এর পক্ষ থেকে ধন্যবাদ এবং শুভেচ্ছা জানাচ্ছি। Let's get to your actually I can't wait to hear your success stories. Before you worked for Haringey Council and obviously running your own business, in between you done catering as well.
Catering, I didn't do it. My dad had 2 restaurants in Soho, and he also had a fast food place in North London. So I'd probably, as usual, Bangladeshi people at that time, I'd help on the weekends and sometimes in the weekdays as and when needed. So my older brother, he used to run the restaurant and I used to help out as and when.
What's his name, your older brother?
His name is Jubair Ahmed.
Okay.
So, and I was studying in the evenings and went on to university, etc. So that's, the family was in business. It's about 40 years now.
Oh,
my dad's been in
nice.
that business, yeah.
Very nice.
Catering business.
So what have you done for your job-wise after school or college or university? Have you started job straight away or?
Actually, yes. I finished my university degree. I studied at Westminster University, and after I finished my degree, I went to Bangladesh and I stayed there for 1 year. I took a break for 1 year. When I came back, I think my first job was. I'm actually originally I was a software engineer, so I graduated in computer studies. So I worked a couple of years with some software companies, writing software.
In London?
In London, yes.
Acha.
Designing software, etc. And then I think what happened was I was working on an assignment in Camden Council. It was a 6 months to a 1 year assignment. I was doing a system for them. That's when I met someone there in housing. I was doing some work for them.
Yeah, okay. So you done 6 months to a year for Camden
That's right, yeah.
at designing software.
I was looking at a system for them, a database at that time in the housing department and environmental health department.
And what happened after Camden?
After Camden, I got introduced to housing. The family were involved in buying properties at that time a while back, so we had some estate agents looking after it at that time. So I then found that very interesting, the job, when I was there. So I did another degree in housing.
Oh,
Yes.
that's good.
Yes, so I did another degree in housing whilst I was continuing my IT work. And then I moved to, I was already living in Camden. We used to live near Drummond Street. I was born and brought up there, just near Euston Square. And then at that time, I bought a house in Haringey. So I moved to Haringey.
Okay, so you still a Londoner?
I'm still a Londoner, yes.
That's good, mashallah. And then BTS team done a lot of research on you, and we have found very interesting newses and links between you and Haringey Council, Camden and other sectors, which is I'm very proud, and proudly I must say, as a Bangladeshi origin, what you have done, and I'm sure we're going to share all this with our audience today, and obviously youngsters are watching, and inshallah it will help lot of the young generation as well. What made you to work for Haringey Council, and when have you started?
Initially, I think when I moved to Haringey, I bought a house there in Haringey, so we moved there with the family, and I was looking for a job near.
When was that?
I think that was back in 2002-3, I think,
Okay.
around that time.
So quite a long time ago.
Quite a long time ago, 13-14 years ago. And I joined a housing office at that time. It was a junior position in Tottenham, where the riots happened, so I was based there. That was my first job.
Oh, so you started then with Haringey Council?
That's right, yeah.
Okay, as a housing officer.
Housing officer.
What
yeah.
was your role?
My role was we had a patch of properties around 500, and we used to collect the rents, we have to manage them, antisocial behavior, looking after the estates. So I think at that time I was assigned to an area called North Tottenham.
So তৎকালীন সময় আপনি কি একাই বাঙালি ছিলেন হারিঙ্গি কাউন্সিলের স্টাফ, নাকি অন্য আরো বাঙালি ছিলেন?
At that time in housing I was the only Bengali
Oh,
person,
really?
yeah.
Why do you think that time not a lot of Bengalis were involved in housing association or council works or stuff?
I'm not sure at that time, but maybe it's not a career that people were interested in or such, but there was not any Bengalis there at all, no, at that time.
ইউকের মধ্যে হারিঙ্গে কাউন্সিলে আপনি অ্যাওয়ার্ড পেয়েছেন. Why was that?
What happened was that I was working in a very area in North Tottenham where there was lots of antisocial behavior. It was a serious crime area. That's where the riots happened, actually. And I did some work around that area of residents, etc., to eliminate drug houses, antisocial behavior. So after that, I was nominated by some councillors and some residents to receive the Employee of the Year award for Haringey Council. So we got about 5,000 staff, so I was nominated for that. I think that's the thing you're probably referring to, one of the staff.
But is it you okay, so do you think আপনি যে অ্যাওয়ার্ডটা পেয়েছেন, is it because you are the only Bengali there? I don't know, I'm just asking. Or you got the award because you've done some good moves?
It's not the because I'm a Bengali. I think that's not something people look at your work basically on what you deliver.
Sure.
And if you deliver something good, then sometimes a token of appreciation to motivate you to take you more. But the thing I liked about that award, it came from the residents and councillors. It wasn't an internal one from the director as such. It was from the residents and councillors who nominated me for this award.
Haringate Council এর তৎকালীন সময় there was lot of funds outstanding, tenants commercial and residential, rent collect হয় নাই, then you came in, and what made you to jump into rent sector in collection department?
What happened was originally I was actually a tenancy, I was a housing officer for about 2 years, then I got promoted to become a team manager quite quickly basically. So I applied, there was a job going as a team manager and I applied for that and I got into that role, and I was working for a tenancy manager as a tenancy management team manager. Basically that side of the thing is looking after repairs, antisocial behavior and tenancy side of stuff and estates. So I was there about 8 years going back. During that time I was mostly one of the troubleshooter managers, you call them. So wherever there's a problem I'd go there and look at what the issues are and try to sort them out. So I've worked in North Tottenham, I worked in Wood Green, I worked in Hornsey, so I've worked in various stuff. Eventually you want a little bit of change, and there was a restructure going on. So what they did was the teams got specialized, so it was income collection, which collects the rents of the properties, and the tenancy side.
I see, thank you very much. But what made you যে আপনি কোন কারণে হাউজিং ম্যানেজার হিসাবে আবেদন করেছিলেন? Why have you applied to become a housing manager? More money, or the role was easy?
I don't think so that job's about money. It's more about if you're someone who works in the community and you want to help people, because council houses, a lot of vulnerable people stay there, vulnerable, mental health, etc. So it's a rewarding job. It's not about the money in that kind of job, but it's someone, if you like helping people, that's the job for you. So I'm someone who likes helping people, and I've always done, and you need to be a very calm person to be able to do this type of job, because it can be a very stressful job.
Thank you very much. Zuned Bhai, I have lot of paper cuts here. I collected them, and with help of BTS team. You collected the highest rent in United Kingdom then. Haringate Council was, I'm sure if there is outstanding funds, council always face problems and issues. Have you done this all by yourself, or you had a team?
Yes, what happened was, I think back in 2013 or 14, I can't quite remember, I had a little chat with the director, the new director at that time, and I was asked to see if I would like to take the job in income collection or move to that department, because the council housing department had to become self-financing. So basically there will not be more money coming from the government to finance the housing department, and if that's the case, then basically salaries, repairs will not be done. So it's imperative that we collect the rent at that time. So I had a team of roughly 15 people, debt recovery officers, some admin staff as well, and above me was my head of service. Obviously he had other portfolios under him, like home ownership, etc. So that's how big my team was at that time. We was performing around 96% at that time. It's quite serious.
Thank you very much, Zuned Bhai. আমাদের একজন কলার লাইনে আছে, so I just take the call. Caller, assalamu alaikum and welcome to BTS.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Neha. I just want to
caller, if you can hear me, আমি আপনাকে শুনতেছি না, so I would request the sound team to put the volume up. Caller, আপনি কি শুনতেছেন?
Ji, I can hear you.
Okay. Caller, what's your name and where are you calling from?
আমার নাম হলো Neha. I'm calling from Dagenham.
Okay.
I just want to have a quick question, please. I want to get HMO license in my property. I want to know what is the bedroom size need to be.
Okay. Caller, we actually come in. আমরা একটু পরেই HM এর মধ্যে আসবো, এটা আমার প্রশ্নের মধ্যে একটা অন্যতম প্রশ্ন। So keep watching, and very soon our guest, I will request him to answer your question, inshallah. Thank you very much for your call.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And sound team, sound engineer ke ami request kortesi je sound is fine now. Thank you very much. So I just take one more call. Caller, assalamu alaikum and welcome to BTS. Caller, আপনার টিভির ভলিউমটা মিউট করে আমাদের সাথে কথা বলুন প্লিজ।
হ্যালো, আসসালামু আলাইকুম।
ওয়ালাইকুম আসসালাম। কলার কে বলছিলেন এবং কোথা থেকে?
শোয়েব ভাই, আমি কেমন তাই মামুন মাতলাম।
ও আচ্ছা, মামুন ভাই, আসসালামু আলাইকুম, ভালো আছেন?
ওয়ালাইকুম সালাম, আলহামদুলিল্লাহ।
জি।
মে আই স্পিক টু জুনেদ ভাই?
Yeah, of course. You
আসসালামু আলাইকুম জুনেদ ভাই।
Assalamu alaikum, Mamun bhai.
এটা ভালো আছেন?
জি ভালো আছি। এটা
আলহামদুলিল্লাহ, গ্রেট টু সি ইউ।
Thank you.
আর অত হইতাম সালাম, আসলে তো আমরা তো জুনেদ ভাই করো গেলা, তো তাকে দর্শকের উদ্দেশ্য করাম। জুনেদ ভাই ইজ ভেরি নাইস পারসন এন্ড ভেরি ওয়েল এস্টাবলিশমেন্ট। আর আমরা কাউন্সিলর অনেক নানান সমস্যা আমি ফেস করছি, জুনেদ ভাই অনেক সময় হেল্প করছেন। আমরা কমিউনিটির ব্যক্তিত্ব তাই, and I wish him all the best.
Thank you very much, Mamun bhai. Thank you very much for your call.
Thank you, Mamun bhai.
একটা SMS আসছে, I just take this before we carry on. Azad from Luton. Azad bhai আপনারে thank you দিতেছেন and thanking me, and Azad bhai has a question that okay, Azad bhai, purchasing সাবজেক্টটাতে আমরা আসবো ইনশাআল্লাহ। Keep watching, and সম্মানিত দর্শক মণ্ডলী, একটা ছোট্ট একটি বিরতিতে যাচ্ছি, প্লিজ stay with us, we'll be back very shortly. Thank you. প্রিয় দর্শক মণ্ডলী, ওয়েলকাম ব্যাক টু BTS বিহাইন্ড দ্য সাকসেস অনুষ্ঠানে। we're gonna go back to Zuned Ahmed and we're gonna try and dig out his success and how we can help our audience as well. Thank you being with us, সম্মানিত দর্শক মণ্ডলী। Zuned bhai also, thank you very much. Zuned bhai, so at that time আপনি যে রেন্ট কালেক্টিং যেটা আপনার আউটস্ট্যান্ডিং ফর হারিঙ্গের কাউন্সিল, এই প্রজেক্টটা হাতে নেয়ার আপনার মেইন উদ্দেশ্যটা কি ছিল?
এটা একটা নতুন একটা চ্যালেঞ্জ, so it was like a new challenge for me. And I think it was a priority for the council, and normally they will put their best man on the job basically. So I'm a troubleshooter, that's what my specialty is. I like the challenge. So I took this it was a very risky challenge. It's not an easy thing because you got a lot of responsibility on your shoulders, and if it fails, it can be a big consequences for the council as well.
And did you get any bonus for that?
Unfortunately, I didn't get no bonuses for that, no.
All right. এই প্রজেক্টে যারা কাজ করেছে আপনার সাথে, including yourself, have you faced any problem, any issues with tenants?
One of the things I always do is I have a book, Life of Prophet Muhammad. I follow his principles and rules in my life, and that's the way I manage my staff. In an organization, your staff is your asset. You look after them, your business will run well. And when I moved in there, my record was already, people were looking forward for me to coming here because there was a lot of changes that needed to be made. So when I moved into the department, people were happy to see me there, and I have a good relationship with people. So it's a matter of seeing where the strengths and weaknesses of staff are and putting people at the right job and reviewing some of the internal processes, etc. So alhamdulillah, with God's Allah's help, we went on and we did what we had to do. Whereas before, like, people would be sending a couple of 50-60 letters a day for arrears. I rejigged that system around, and we are sending like thousands of letters every week to remind people. And one other thing is I come from a normal background myself, so I understand about how people's lives are living in council properties, and you have to understand a lot of things like nowadays some of the people, they're working on 0-hour contracts.
Of course.
People come in and out of work. So you have to understand how to manage that process. Plus, some people are busy at work, so you remind them. So I looked at a lot of processes, and one of the things was when I first started the income collection job, we normally have a meeting with like all the managers, income collection managers from other boroughs as well, so 20, 25 boroughs. And I went to one of the first meetings, and I noticed Haringey Council right at the bottom of the league table and some of the upper class. So I made good relationship with those managers who are doing better, because end of the day, if you want to be good, you have to work with the best.
Of course.
So I made some good relationship with those managers, see what they did, copied some of their good examples, and alhamdulillah, the following years we beat the record of Haringey Council. We achieved 100%, and we was one of the top performing council. And then the following year, what had happened is I beat my own record again the following year. So that's the story behind there. So
thank you. That was a very good success story which you just shared with me and Channel I audience. Thank you very much. Now, a lot of young generations have started working for different councils in United Kingdom. What is your advice for the current council staff and young generations if they want to achieve what you have achieved? You've been awarded, you achieved, apne UK national paper patrikate apnake niye likhalikhi hoyese at that time. Now what is your advice?
End of the day, in the council, they provide very vital services to the community. So everyday stuff that we do, things like rubbish collection, from cleaning the street. But housing, I think, is one of the most important thing in our life. Our family starts from housing, and we wake up in the morning, then we go to work and we come back to the house. So everything's, housing's a very important area of work. It all depends on your interest. You have to have a passion for what you do. I enjoy what I do, so it shows in me. So when I'm in the office, people see that I'm motivated. I enjoy my job, and that gives my staff to lead. You have to be a good leader, and you have to lead the way through difficult times sometimes.
Of course.
At the moment, obviously, like previously, we had 4 managers, and at my end bit, I was the last manager left, so restructures, cutting back, government cutbacks, so you have to run an efficiency saving, so the struggle's on you and the pressure's on you. But wherever you go, any corporate organization, private council, it's all the same out there. People have to save money in order to run the business.
When and why have you left Haringey Council? Or as far as I know, you are not doing any government job. You're running your own business for quite some time. Why have you left, even though you've done very well?
I think with all jobs and stuff, within Haringey Council, I did many other jobs as well.
Okay.
So there comes a times when you want to change, because when you know that you want to do something else, or you are not motivated, you want to move to another job. So what I did was I was thinking about it for a little while. It was actually, I was not into business. I never thought about going into business. But what happened was, as Mamun Bhai called earlier, he's a local person. People get to know who you are. And a lot of our community people or people have properties, and they face a lot of problems with the properties. So they sometimes come to you and say, oh, could you help me out on this? Could you help me on that? And that's how I started. I started helping people. So sometimes there will be a couple of people every evening knocking on my door. The tenant's not paying up. What do I do? So I'll advise them and etc. And then it got to a term where then after helping them, people started paying me. So, I was doing the job. So, and I had a couple of our own properties as well that I thought I took back from the estate agent because I wasn't happy with their performance. So I started managing that basically. And then I set up this company called Asia Properties and Consultancy. So mainly at that time I was providing consultancy service on tenancy related matters, property management related matters. So if a tenant, when the landlords ask for the rent, they put a disrepair claim in. But I was very experienced, so I've got over 15 years experience working in that kind of field. So I've seen everything that can happen. I work with the top barristers who's defending our case. So I've been to court many times, etc. So it's a very valuable experience I had.
আমি আসলে আমার পার্সোনাল এবং চ্যানেল আইয়ের অডিয়েন্সের পক্ষ থেকে আমি আপনার কাছে একটা প্রশ্ন যেটা হয়তো আমার লিস্টেও নাই বা আমার প্রশ্নটা করার ইচ্ছাও ছিল না, বাট আই হ্যাভ টু বিকজ ইউ বিন এন এক্স হাউজিং ম্যানেজার। আমাদের কমিউনিটির অসংখ্য লোক এবং ফ্রম মেনি পার্টস অফ দ্য ওয়ার্ল্ড who are living in UK, এবং এর মধ্যে অনেকেই ওরা বর্তমানে they are in a temporary housing, permanent পাচ্ছে না, or some people they are living in a hotel, অনেক প্রপার্টিতে আপনি is overcrowded. Now অনেক I have seen lot of people তারা যখন কাউন্সিলের যায় যে give us a house or give us a flat বা একটা প্রপার্টি দেওয়ার জন্য they show অনেক অজুহাত ওরা দেখায়। Do you have any kind of advice কি করলে আমাদের অডিয়েন্স বা আমাদের ইউকের হোমলেস যারা তারা একটা পার্মানেন্ট বাড়ি পেতে পারে?
Shuel bhai, the current situation, there's a serious housing crisis in the country itself. Like in Haringey, there's roughly about 5,000 people on the waiting list in temporary accommodation.
Sure.
Even the private sector cannot house these people, so some people are being moved outside London. Plus with the new benefit system in place, the benefit does not cover some of the rent on the private sector property, so people have to move out from the local authorities. But council is for the most vulnerable people in our community who cannot afford it, but it's changing over time now because they can't cope with the rehousing situation because there's simply not enough properties. That's I'll tell you from an insight, because I've worked with colleagues in lettings, because when I was in tenancy management we used to sometimes have like domestic violence cases where we have to move out people immediately, and when I'm having those debates with my colleagues in the letting side of the department, they simply don't have properties available to move people in, so they put them in temporary accommodation, and obviously some of the temporary accommodation, as you said, may not be in a good state of repair, but
of course
that's something for the officers to ensure that they're maintained well, etc.
Thank you, Zuned bhai. Caller, assalamu alaikum. Caller, assalamu alaikum and welcome to BTS.
Yeah, can I speak to Brother Zuned?
Yes sir, আপনার নামটা কি ভাই? Caller, আপনার নাম এবং কোথা থেকে বলছিলেন?
Can I speak to Brother Zuned?
Yes, speak to him, brother.
Hello, assalamu alaikum, brother.
Assalamu alaikum, brother. I don't know if you remember me. My name is Abdul. You helped me a lot before I was about to buy a restaurant, and you gave me some really sound advice, and you helped me save a lot of money. Do you remember me from Haringey?
Oh yes, brother. How are you doing? How's life?
Yeah, very well, brother. Thank you very much. I just thought I'd ring you to save me. You saved me 60 grand. I know you might not remember me precisely from Haringey. Me with one of my trouble tenants. Do you remember this was back in 2015?
Yes, I remember, brother. It was in Tottenham, your property in Tottenham.
Exactly, Tottenham.
Yes.
Exactly. And I had this really troublesome tenant who refused, a sitting tenant, and he refused to get out, and you helped me with the legal work. And I can never forget that, how much you went to help me out.
Thank you very much, caller. Thank you very much. Zuned bhai, আমরা অতক্ষণ শুনলাম আপনার সাকসেস স্টোরি উইথ councils. There is a lot of calls coming in, so I'm going to take this as a last call for at least 15 minutes. কলার আসসালামু আলাইকুম, কে বলছিলেন এবং কোথা থেকে?
হ্যালো, আসসালামু আলাইকুম, আমি কি লাইভে কথা বলতেছি?
জি জি, আসসালামু আলাইকুম, কে বলছিলেন এবং কোথা থেকে কলার?
আমি ডায়মন্ড স্ট্রিট থেকে, আমার নাম জলিল চৌধুরী খোকন।
আচ্ছা খোকন ভাই, আসসালামু আলাইকুম।
আসসালামু আলাইকুম, ভালো আছেন ভাই?
জি আলহামদুলিল্লাহ। আপনি কি আমাদের গেস্টের সাথে কথা বলবেন?
জুনায়েদ আহমেদ ভাই। আচ্ছা, আমি ওনার উদ্দেশ্যে একটু বলি।
জি প্লিজ।
আমি দর্শকদের উদ্দেশ্যে বলি যে আজকে যে গেস্ট জুনায়েদ আহমেদ ভাই, he is the very talented person, and about the housing he is the very knowledgeable person, good advisor around the housing, and he is actually community আমাদের একজন ব্যক্তিত্ব। উনি হেল্প করেন যে কোনো সমস্যায় পড়লে মানুষকে, উনি যতটুকু পারেন ততটুকু হেল্প করেন, এবং এজ এ পার্ট অফ ফ্যামিলি মেম্বার উনি শুধু মানে আশেপাশে মানুষগুলোকেও না, মানে পার্ট অফ ফ্যামিলি মেম্বার হিসাবে উনি ফ্যামিলির যে কোনো বিষয়ে সমস্যা হলে সবাইকে সাপোর্ট দেন, এবং মানে হাউজিং এর কেউ কোনো প্রবলেমে পড়লে গুড অ্যাডভাইস দেন, এবং সাথে সাথে উনি চেষ্টা করেন।
I think we lost the caller. Kukon bhai, আপনাকে অসংখ্য ধন্যবাদ কলের জন্য। You see, Kukon bhai was telling the audience the good stuff you did, which is it makes me proud.
Thank you very much for
as
your
a
call.
Bengali, আমরা আসলে এইভাবে আপনার মতো আমরা যদি we want more successful people, we want to see, but obviously আমাদের young generation, they working very hard, they doing well education, and inshallah in very near future we'll have more successful people. Now Junaid bhai, we haven't finished. Why have you left Haringey Council?
Oh yes.
The last bit.
Yeah, what happened was that I was, as you can see, I was helping people
Sure.
Alongside my job. So people would, even during the work time, because I was a manager, so
Yeah.
you know, people come into my office, or you know, sometimes they'll ask me all sorts of questions, because I've been in various departments, whether it's the HMO team, whether it's the tenancy team, income team. So even the last in tenancy, when the decent homes happened, like 50 million works, I was one of the persons supervising, making sure that our buildings are
Sure.
maintained by the contractor. So people would come to you for advice, and eventually what happened was some people will say, oh, do me a favor, could you take this, rent this property for me, or deal with this for me? And eventually what I decided to do, I didn't ask for money, but people started to force to pay me the money. So they said, no, it's your time, we have to give it. You know, I'm making a lot of money from this property. So I then decided, I had a house and I had a little garage there, and I thought, let me just fix this garage up, and that's what I did. I fixed the garage up, put a little desk and 2 tables there, and that's where I sort of, my first step there.
Oh, so you started your business from home, from garage?
It's a garage, not my house, but I had another house that I owned.
Okay.
And on the side there was a garage.
So
And I decided to use that as a small office, basically.
good job.
Just to-
Good job. Well done. You did a good job. When have you started Asia Properties?
Around initially the company started about 4 years ago.
Okay.
As I said to you, I was doing some consultancy work, and I set up this company to manage my own properties, because I had a vision that one day I'm going to manage my own properties and I'm going to have my own portfolio. That was the idea. And the family's been in this business for a little while, but my dad mainly invested in Bangladesh with a lot of properties there. So we then I came to a point where the second year after I've done the achieved what I needed to achieve, and I thought that's a good time for me to go. At one time I was thinking the next step is head of service and then maybe director. You know, everyone was pushing me, now you need to, my manager above me was saying, now you need to look to apply for head of service, etc. So I put my resignation in one day. Nobody knew about it. It was quite a surprise. And then my manager sort of said, oh, let me hold on to that. He took me out to dinner. He tried to convince me to not resign at this stage. And maybe he offered me, do you want to go part-time? Do you want to go reduced hours? And I said, no, I think I don't want to. I got some other plans at this moment. And then My director even got involved as well, and she had a long conversation with me as well. And I said one of the things was the reason I was leaving is because I've done this for a little while. I needed a change now. I needed a different challenge. So she actually offered me another job in the lettings department. At that time, our head of lettings left, so it was a more promotion job. So it was a head of lettings job that they wanted me to move into. But again, I then took a week or 2 weeks to decide. She said, no, let me hold on to that. And then I made my final decision that I will actually go. And another friend of mine at that time, he's an investment banker. And I met him a while ago during my professional thing, because when I was the income collection manager, I went to his bank and I was having difficulties opening accounts for tenants. So I found this gentleman, his name is Mizan Rahman, and through some social sort of thing, he's an investment banker, he's a manager actually in Liverpool. And he bought a shop in Lordship Lane. And he's into properties as well. He does a lot of investment himself. And he asked me, said, brother, I've got this shop here, you got all that knowledge. Come please, why don't we do something, I look after my stock and you're going to do that. And that's the next step. Was from the garage, we then decided to move to the shop basically. And we had the shop empty for a little while. He didn't want to rent it or anything. He was waiting for me, so he'd call me every 3 months to 4 months and Zuned bhai, what's your decision? Shall we do it or not? So that was the first step.
So now you're doing letting, sales. What else you do? You do construction, you build,
we
refurb.
We manage properties, so
Yeah.
we're a property management company. That's the main business we do. We let properties in North London. We refurbish, we construct, build properties. We also, in the process, we got our own little team as well between us. I've got my own investment things that I'm doing, purchasing land and getting development permissions, etc., refurbishing. And we also help landlords build portfolios. So it's me, myself, who deals with the property management side and letting side. My colleague, Miz, he's the investment banker, but he helps on the sales and he does all the research work of where to invest, etc. He's a very knowledgeable guy, so he's a manager there. And I've got my another colleague who's on the building side. He looks after all the construction, but mainly we're trying to do our own stuff, or our own landlords that we want to look after, but we do some additional work as and when needed.
Okay, Birmingham থেকে কল আসছিল আমাদের এক বোন. She wanted to know what is how to I think she's struggling to get HMO license. Actually আমার বার্মিংহামের বোনের নাম I think Halima. I completely forgot. Please forgive me. Her question was she's struggling to get HMO license. What is the best way, easiest way? আর আমার প্রশ্ন হচ্ছে what is HMO? Sorry Zuned Ahmed ভাই, খুব শর্ট টাইমে আপনি আনসারগুলো দিতে হবে. এক নম্বর বার্মিংহামের বোনের যে প্রশ্নটা, best way to get the license, what is HMO, why do we need HMO?
HMO, it means house in multiple occupation. Basically, you have one house and you divide it into 4 or 5 lets. So you have 5 different tenants. It's a very good business. I do it myself. That's one of the areas I specialize in. You can increase your property yields by so much that from a single let the profit margins low, because property rental is all about the profit margin you make from the properties. So whatever this sister is trying to do is good. Mainly, sister, if you want to do this property as a HMO, there's a criteria. I don't know what the Birmingham criteria is, but you have to look at the room sizes. You have to see if there's a planning, because nowadays a lot of council, they require planning permission. So you have to make sure that the planning permission is needed or not. If it's above 3 stories, then you need 3 stories, then you need a HMO license as well. There's a risk assessment that you have to do as well, and you have to make sure that that all complies with the council regulation, fire alarms, fire doors, fire checks. So, it's best the council will help you in every step to do that, but it's best to check the room size, etc. Because some, like for London, I know, like for example, if it's East London, they use a standard size 6.5 square meters for a single person for each room. If it's a 2-person, then 12 square meters. But where I live in Haringey's 12 square meters minimum for 1 person, 15 square meters for 2 persons. So the regulations are quite different from one council to the other. But HMOs, I'd advise Bengalis or Bangladeshi people. A lot of my, I've been working with a lot of Jewish people as well, I haven't told you that, and Turkish people. And they have a lot of HMOs. I have a person called Isaac who I go to a lot of auctions and stuff that before when I was there. They are well into that trade and they've been doing it for a long time. So if our people, community, get into that, then they can maximize their income on their properties. It's a bit more time consuming, but again the income will be more than just a single let.
Why do we need HMO? এই প্রশ্নটার উত্তর আপনি দেন নাই।
Some councils, they require you to have a license. So for example, Newham, you got Newham, you got Dagenham, and it's different from each council. So some councils say regardless of how many stories you need a license, some councils say they don't. Because what it is, you'll have 4 or 5 people living in the house in different rooms. So it's to protect the tenants as well, to make sure that the health and safety, there's no hazards there, eliminate all the hazards, and the house is safe for people. So mainly they'll come, and the council officer, the HMO inspector, will come and check the house and make sure that there's appropriate fire alarms, etc., appropriate facilities for the amount of people you have. Those kind of checks they will do.
Thank you. Now, the fire alarm and the fire extinguisher and etc., etc., related to HMO, as far as I know, they are quite expensive. আপনার কি জানা মতো এমন কোনো সাপ্লায়ার আছে যে you can go and get everything A to Z you need to find in one place?
You can shop around. It's best, what I would suggest is it's best to look at what the requirements are of that council. And you need to have that serviced each year anyway, so it's best to give it to a contractor who will look after that every 6 to 12 months and give you a certificate, etc. But some councils, they require fire extinguishers, some councils don't. So it all depends on the council you're living in. So you have to study their, understand their sort of criteria within that council.
Thank you. আমাদের একটা প্রশ্ন SMS এর মাধ্যমে আসছে। প্রশ্নটা যিনি করেছেন এখানে কোনো নাম নেই। Dear audience, আপনারা SMS করার সময় যদি আপনাদের নাম দেন, that would be nice, so I can mention. Unknown SMS আসছে from somebody, audience, যে as a civil servant and current businessman, দুটার মধ্যে which one you enjoyed or you enjoy or you felt was the right thing for you at that time?
I think I'm still doing community work anyway.
Okay.
So when I was working in housing, it was like a community
I will come
job.
to the community thing. You don't.
So it's a new challenge for me. So it's something different. I never was a businessman. I never thought of being a businessman. But sometimes you fall into something, and so far I'm enjoying it. It's to do with housing. So I enjoy housing. So I'm still enjoying it. It's a new challenge for me.
সিস্টার, আপনি যে কল দিছিলেন ফ্রম বার্মিংহাম, আপনার উদ্দেশ্যে বলতেছি, ইফ ইউ কন্ট্যাক্ট ইউর লোকাল কাউন্সিল, আপনাকে অবশ্যই ওরা হেল্প করবে। এরপরেও যদি আপনি এক্সট্রা কোনো হেল্প বা অ্যাডভাইস চান, ইউ ক্যান অলওয়েজ সেন্ড মি অ্যান ইমেল অ্যান্ড আই ক্যান ফরওয়ার্ড ইট টু জুনেদ ভাই। থ্যাংক ইউ ভেরি মাচ। আইল টেক ওয়ান কল। কলার, আসসালামু আলাইকুম। হ্যালো কলার, আসসালামু আলাইকুম। Caller, assalamu alaikum. Okay, I think we lost the caller. Junaid bhai, landlord, they always want to make more money by letting it to high-end state agent or people like yourself with a background of managing a lot of houses and stuff. is there any other advice you can give আমাদের অডিয়েন্সকে যারা ল্যান্ডলর্ড সেফটি এবং টু মেক মোর মানি সেফ সাইড ইজ খুবই ইম্পর্টেন্ট অনেক ল্যান্ডলর্ড দে ফেস প্রবলেমস
There is certain when you're renting properties, there's quite a lot of things now in place that you have to make sure, like gas safety, electric, and EPC, etc. So you have to ensure that all those requirements are met. So it's always best to, if you're a novice landlord, then it's best to go to some training course or get some advice from estate agents or your local property lettings department. Or the best thing is sometimes it's better to pay that fees, because a property is one of your most valuable assets.
Of course.
And just paying a couple of hundreds to an estate agent will not harm you, because they will look after it well if they're a professional company. And if they're good, they will help you maximize your income. So that's one of the things we do. We are not a standard estate agent.
Sure.
We work very differently.
থ্যাংক ইউ জুনেদ ভাই আমাদের কানাডা থেকে এসএমএস আসছে সো হুইচ ইজ কানাডা থেকে আই থিঙ্ক হি ইজ ওয়াচিং অনলাইন আর রুফিয়ান ভাই কানাডা থেকে আপনাকে অসংখ্য ধন্যবাদ আপনার এসএমএস এর জন্য রুফিয়ান ভাই ওয়াজ হি ইজ এ ব্রিটিশ বাংলাদেশি বাট উনি রিসেন্টলি কানাডাতে আই থিঙ্ক হি ইজ অন হলিডে তো উনি প্রোগ্রাম দেখতেছে এবং উনার প্রশ্ন হচ্ছে যে ডু ইউ হেল্প ল্যান্ডলর্ডস বেসিক্যালি your clients landlord যারা আপনার কাছে আছে with HMRC regarding tax and tax issue?
No, we don't get involved in tax issue. That's not our area of specialism we have.
And another question he's asking যে আমার পার্সোনাল মর্গেজ আমি কি আমার বাড়ি ভাড়া দিতে পারবো কিনা?
Again, mortgage is not an area I understand, so it's my colleague who deals with the financial stuff, but we don't deal with mortgages in our company.
I know, of course, but let's say আমার পার্সোনাল মর্গেজ ওইটা বাই টু লেট না এখন আমি কি ওইটা লেট দিতে পারবো কিনা?
That depends, because you can sometimes rent a room, they allow that, but if you want to fully rent your property, you have to get permission from your mortgage lender.
Okay, otherwise you face some kind of issues.
It's not allowed, because you've signed a contract that you're going to be staying in the property, so you have to ensure that you get the permission from your lender.
What if you don't let them know?
A lot of people do that, but again, you need to do things legally. You don't want to do anything outside the book, because there's things like insurance. So if your property burns down, have you got the appropriate tenant insurance? So your house might be worth half a million or 1 million. And do you want to take that risk of $500,000 because of a little bit of money there, saving £100 or £200 on your mortgage because it's not a buy-to-let, or you don't have the appropriate insurance? So I personally wouldn't do that.
I have about a minute to go to a break. 1 minute মধ্যে can you tell us why our audience should go to your company, Asia Properties and Consultancy? What is the best you do for the clients, your clients, and why they should go to you?
I'll give you an example. For example, now in Manchester, we've just bought for one of our clients a massive warehouse, and we're getting the planning permission for that for 43 students' accommodations.
Okay.
This landlord, he's a software engineer, so he doesn't really have. He's got a high-flying job, so he doesn't have the time to manage that. So we're looking into that. Ms. Brother on the other side, he's researched the area, and he's doing some of the stuff. And I'm now looking with our technical people. We're in process to get that. So that's another area. While I say it, like student accommodations, nurse accommodations, our Bangladeshi people should get into that.
Let's come back after a break and we'll finish the bit. সম্মানিত দর্শক মণ্ডলী, very sorry but ছোট্ট একটি বিরতিতে যাচ্ছি, please stay with us. Tomorrow. Sorry about that. Abdul Majid from Belsize Park. Mojid bhai, thank you. I'm going to ask him that question. এটা আমার লিস্টের মধ্যে আছে এবং বাবলু ভাই from Haringey Councillor, I think he is probably your friend, or Bablu from Wood Green, Shanjob Ali from Wood Green, and মৌসুকের সবাইকে থ্যাংক ইউ ভেরি মাচ SMS দেওয়ার জন্য। মৌসুক ভালো আছেন আমি 100% শিওর, এবং শিবলু শাহজান ভাই থ্যাংক ইউ ভেরি মাচ আপনাদের SMS এর জন্য। অ্যান্ড আমরা আসলে ওই প্রশ্নগুলো করে ফেলছি, সো ইউটিউব অ্যান্ড ফেসবুকে আপনারা ইউ ক্যান ওয়াচ ইট টুমরো ইফ ইউ হ্যাভ মিসড। আর অসংখ্য ধন্যবাদ। আই গোনা টেক ওয়ান কল। কলার, আসসালামু আলাইকুম। কলার, আসসালামু আলাইকুম। কলার, ক্যান ইউ হিয়ার মি? কলার, আসসালামু আলাইকুম।
আসসালামু আলাইকুম।
ওয়ালাইকুম আসসালাম। কলার, কে বলছিলেন এবং কোথা থেকে?
আমি হারিঙ্গা থেকে বলতেছি।
আচ্ছা,
আমার একটা ছিল ওনার কাছে, যে আমি আমার কাজের লাইফে দেখছি আর কি, আমি এক কমিউনিটি ওয়ার্কার, আর আমার অনেক ক্লায়েন্ট আপনার ওই প্রাইভেট ল্যান্ডলর্ডের বাড়িতে থাকেন। তো আমি হেল্প করি যারা ইংলিশে কথা বলতে পারেন না, এদের যেমন ওনাদের কোনো প্রবলেম হলে আমি ল্যান্ডলর্ড বা এজেন্টের সাথে আমার কথা বলতে হয় আর কি, বিহাফ অফ দেম। তো একটা জিনিস আমি খুব বেশি দেখছি, যে ল্যান্ডলর্ডরা এত নেগলেক্ট করেন ওই যে বাসার রিপেয়ার নিয়ে, আর এত বাচ্চারা ফ্যামিলি এত সাফার করে এইটা নিয়ে, যেমন আপনার ড্যাম্প হাউস, গরম পানি নাই, কুকার হাফ ব্রোকেন, এটা নিয়ে ওনার অ্যাডভাইসটা কি? ল্যান্ডলর্ডদের একটা যদি উনি একটা অ্যাডভাইস দেন, যে এরা আপনি একটা বাড়ি ভাড়া দিলেন, আপনার একটা দায়িত্ব আছে, গার্ডেনে জঙ্গল, বাড়ির সামনে ছোট্ট একটা গার্ডেন আছে, ভেরি আনটাইডি, এইসব জিনিস ওনাদের দায়িত্ব। আমি তো মনে করি এটা ল্যান্ডলর্ড বা যে এজেন্টকে দেন, এটা ল্যান্ডলর্ডের দায়িত্ব, যে এজেন্টের সাথে কথা বলা বা বাড়ির অবস্থাটা কি মাঝে মাঝে এগুলা দেখা। অনেক বাচ্চারা কিন্তু
থ্যাংক ইউ কলার, থ্যাংক ইউ ভেরি মাচ। আপনি আসলে খুবই ইম্পর্টেন্ট কিছু প্রশ্ন আমাদের আর গেস্টের প্রতি করেছেন। আমি অবশ্যই উনাকে জিজ্ঞাসা করব এবং আই এম শিওর উনি আনসার দিবেন। আপনার নামটা একটু বলবেন? আচ্ছা, থ্যাংক ইউ ভেরি মাচ। আই থিঙ্ক উই লস্ট দ্য কলার। আপনি তো শুনছেন। নাও হোয়াট ইজ ইউর আনসার টু দ্যাট?
I think what she's saying is correct, the sister. And I'd like to thank her first, because she seems like she's doing community work and supporting these people. I go out to value quite a lot of properties for rental, and a lot of them I refuse and I don't take them on because of the condition of the property. There's a lot of sometimes greedy landlords out there who think they can exploit the tenants and make money. But now there's laws in place of disrepair, etc. Because I'm talking now, if I talk from my shoes being in Haringey Council when I was in the housing, there is a specialist team there. So if the landlord doesn't repair the boiler or doesn't carry out the disrepair, then the housing team can serve notices on the landlord and prosecute them and take them to court to force them to do the repairs. There are certain obligations on the tenancy agreement, like who's going to look after the garden, who's going to maintain that, etc. For example, if there's damp or condensation, who's causing that? Is the tenants opening the windows, etc.? So it's sometimes you have to look at the things, but both sides. But there is a legal requirement that the house had to be fit for habitation. So that's one of the things I always advise any landlord of any properties that I take on. I do not want to get involved in a property where we'll get served notice on them, because at the end of the day they are humans living in this property, and you're a human as well, and you have to make sure that people are looked after.
Thank you very much. কলা, নিশ্চয়ই আপনি আনসার পেয়ে গেছেন। খালেদ হোসেন MKH ভাই আপনাকে এবং BTS কে ধন্যবাদ জানাইতেছেন, এবং উনি যে প্রশ্ন, খালেদ হোসেন ভাই আর প্রশ্ন হচ্ছে যে আপনি বলছেন যে people can invest, and you do invest for people. Are you a registered FCA?
No, we don't invest for people.
Okay.
That's something different, separate. We work with landlords and we support them in building their portfolio. We support them in buying properties for them. We can advise them on which properties to go for. For example, I've got a lot of experience and techniques that I've learned working for the Jewish community. So I've worked for some of the leading investors and landlords in this country. So
Sure.
I've been to various auctions, bought properties, and I learned a lot of techniques from them. I still work with them. We still have partnership businesses with them that we're doing at this moment. But as I gave you the example previously, we've bought this land for this gentleman. He's a software engineer. He's now in the process of applying for the planning permissions. We're going to get, if we get 43 student accommodations, then hopefully the next step is to build it, etc., and then we're going to manage it through how we do it. Another example is we've got this Nigerian person. He's got a security firm. He does bodyguards for rich clients. We've just bought a piece of land for him in Wales, and we're going through the process of getting planning permission for that as well. So we have quite a lot of Ms. Bai, who's the investment banker.
Sure.
He's got some clients that simply don't have time. They have the money, but they don't know where to invest. So that's basically our job between ourselves, where we find the right places where to invest in.
Thank you very much. খালেদ হোসেন ভাই, আপনি আশা করি আপনার আনসার পেয়ে গেছেন। আমাদের জুনেদ আহমেদ ভাই, হি ইজ নট এ এফসিআই মেম্বার, বাট উনি আপনার জন্য ইনভেস্ট করেন না, আপনাকে অ্যাডভাইস করবেন বা ক্লায়েন্টকে উনি অ্যাডভাইস করেন, অ্যান্ড দিস ইজ এটাই হচ্ছে উনার ইয়ে। মুরি ভাই, সরি, ফয়জুল ভাই ব্র্যাকেটে উনার মুরিয়ন ভাই আপনাকে হ্যালো বলেছেন এবং আপনাকে ধন্যবাদ জানাইতেছেন উনি। নাও আপনি তো আবার ব্যবসার সাথে obviously when you running a setup, you kind of busy 24/7. Are you involved in any community work? Are you involved in any other activities?
I do help out in the community, so I do support people where and as needed. So, my job itself was community work. So if you talk about housing, you're looking after vulnerable clients.
Can I just interrupt for 1 second? I have one caller, and I'm going to take the call, and the call center make that a last call because we have lot to learn from Zuned Ahmed. Caller, assalamu alaikum.
হ্যালো, আসসালামু আলাইকুম।
ওয়ালাইকুম আসসালাম। কলার কে বলছিলেন এবং কোথা থেকে বলছিলেন?
আমার নাম মিসবাহ কামাল, আমি লন্ডন থেকে বলছি। কেমন আছেন আপনি? ভালো,
আলহামদুলিল্লাহ। থ্যাংক ইউ ভেরি মাচ ভাই।
ইউ ডুইং ভেরি গুড জব ভাই। আই ডু অ্যাপ্রিশিয়েট ইউ আর রানিং ভেরি গুড।
থ্যাংক ইউ ভেরি মাচ।
এভরি উইক আপনি নিয়ে আসেন আমাদের এই বাংলাদেশে অনেক হিডেন ট্যালেন্ট, যারা আপনি না আনলে তো দেখতাম না, জানতাম না, বুঝতাম না।
থ্যাংক ইউ।
রিয়েলি দ্য স্টার অফ আওয়ার বেঙ্গলি স্কাই।
থ্যাংক ইউ। আপনাদের সাপোর্ট বিটিএস এর খুবই দরকার। আপনারা সাপোর্ট করে যাবেন, যেভাবে ইমেল, এসএমএস এবং কল দেন, আপনারা যেভাবে এই বিটিএস কে এবং চ্যানেল আইকে আপনারা যেভাবে আপনাদের নিজের চ্যানেল মনে করেন, এটাতেই আমরা খুশি। আমরা অসংখ্য ধন্যবাদ। কোনো প্রশ্ন থাকলে আপনি করতে পারেন।
চ্যানেল আইকে ধন্যবাদ দিচ্ছি আপনাকে এই সুযোগ দেওয়ার জন্য এবং আমাদের কমিউনিটিকে, এবং এইটা আপনার থ্রুতে আপনি যে এভরি উইকে এই যে হিডেন ট্যালেন্টদের আনেন, আজকে যে আপনার মেহমান যিনি আছেন, বিশিষ্ট ব্যক্তিত্ব, আমি তো কোনোদিনই উনিকে দেখি নাই, জানিও নাই। আই রিয়েলি প্রাউড অফ হিম।
থ্যাংক ইউ।
আমি এটি রিকোয়েস্ট করতে চাবো, উনি তো অনেক কাজ করেন, সিভিল সার্ভেন্ট ছিলেন, এখন তো গ্রেট বিজনেসম্যান, বাট উনি আরো বেশি একটু যদি অ্যাডভান্স হন, আমাদের কমিউনিটিকে আরো দিয়ে যেতে পারবেন, অনেক আমরা পার্লামেন্টেও দেখতে চাই এই ধরনের মানুষকে।
থ্যাংক ইউ, ধন্যবাদ আপনার কামাল ভাই, আপনার কলের জন্য। আপনি ভালো থাকবেন, সুস্থ থাকবেন, আর বিটিএস এর সাথেই থাকবেন। থ্যাংক ইউ। ক্যামডেনের শৌকত ভাই, উনার কুইকলি উনার প্রশ্ন হচ্ছে, শৌকত ভাইয়ের প্রশ্ন হচ্ছে, ডু ইউ অফার মর্গেজ?
No, mortgages we don't do.
We don't have a lot of time left. So
we don't do any financial services.
Okay.
No.
if I will come to that later. Now, you do a lot of community work, as you said.
I do because I'm a branch vice chair with one of the local parties. I won't mention which parties because some of my clients,
is that politics?
My clients might get offended. So from the different parties. So yes, I do some help around.
So you're a branch chairman.
Vice chair.
Vice chair. Yes. Okay. Well done. Thank you very much. Apne to oshonkho.
And I'm involved in some trustees, some other places. But
Arman Bhai wants to know. Arman Bhai just SMS this in kun party.
I think it's best to keep that off air because
Dukkito Arman Bhai uni.
It's best to keep politics away.
Fine. Now, if new generation wants to jump into a property ladder, buying properties, either leasehold or freehold basis, obviously. Leasehold to 99 years and freehold obviously you pay and you become the owner. What is the best way to start purchasing now? Or do you think people should wait another year or so?
It all depends on individual circumstances. You know, some people are starting, some people are well ahead, experienced investors, landlords, and some people want to start. Like for example, we bought one, me and Misbah, a couple of weeks ago. We just bought the freehold for £3,000.
Yeah.
It's just a building. We get £10 rent a year. But from that we can make money because what we'll do is when it comes to repairing the roof and etc., we'll charge 10%, 20% off that. So we'll make the money that way. So there are opportunities. You have to look what you're going to invest in.
Okay, very quickly, thank you very much. Apne amaderke time dear jonno. I highly appreciate আপনি বিটিএসে আসার জন্য এবং আপনি যে কমিউনিটি যে অবদান রেখেছেন, সিভিল সার্ভেন্টে যে অবদান রেখেছেন, আমাদের কমিউনিটির একজন সন্তান আপনি। আমি শিওর আমাদের অডিয়েন্স দে আর ওয়েল প্রাউড, দে আর হ্যাপি টু সি ইউ অ্যান্ড টু এক্সপিরিয়েন্স ইউর হোয়াট ইউ হ্যাভ ডান ইন পাস্ট অ্যান্ড হোয়াট ইউ কারেন্টলি ডুইং। ভেরি কুইকলি আমাদের অডিয়েন্সের জন্য যদি আপনি একটা মেসেজ দেন যে হাউ ইয়াং জেনারেশন কুড বিকাম সাকসেসফুল, how young generation could do what you have done in past, এবং কাউন্সিলে যারা আমাদের কমিউনিটি স্টাফ আছেন, how to do better role, how can they play better role in councils. So if you quickly, this is your camera, if you could quickly give them a tip, that would be nice. And before you get to that, আপনার যে কোম্পানি এটাতে কি আপনি ফ্র্যাঞ্চাইজ বা পার্টনারশিপ নেওয়ার কোনো চিন্তাধারা আছে কিনা?
At this stage, I am actually trying to do the job itself. But as a childhood friend of mine, we're hoping to open another branch in Camden. We did a trial last year, and the response was good. We rented a couple of properties there. He's undergoing training at the moment, so when he's ready to take on the burden.
Thank you very much. Lastly, Ami, just before I let you give the camera, Zuned Ahmed, উনি হারিংগেট কাউন্সিলের এক্স হাউজিং অফিসার এবং কারেন্টলি এইজা প্রপার্টির উনি ডাইরেক্টর এবং এই স্টেট এজেন্ট উনি রান করতেছেন ফ্রম টটনাম অ্যান্ড খুবই ভালোভাবে উনি প্রপার্টি ম্যানেজমেন্ট এবং সেলস অ্যান্ড লেটিংয়ের কাজটাও উনি এবং ওনার সহকর্মীদেরকে নিয়ে করতেছেন। সো আমি বিটিএস চ্যানেল আই এবং চ্যানেল আই এর দর্শকের পক্ষ থেকে আপনাকে আবারও অসংখ্য ধন্যবাদ। লেটস ডু ইয়োর বিট for the audience.
Yeah, all I'll say to the audience out there is that I'm not successful. Every day I wake up in the morning and I try to do something better than what I did yesterday. And I've still got a lot to learn, and inshallah in the future I will get better at what I do. In life, it's a matter of always trying to do the best. You have to be with the market leaders. You know, if you're providing a service, it has to be a polished service, worldwide recognized service. You have to work with the best. I've just been fortunate that I've worked with a lot of companies and corporate organizations back previously, so I know a lot of people that are referring clients to me. But if anyone wants to get into housing, then please feel free to contact me. It's a rewarding career. You will get rewards. There's a lot of vulnerable people in the council that you will serve. And, with their prayers, maybe, it's not about money in life. So I'd just like to say thank you for watching, everybody.
থ্যাংক ইউ ভেরি মাচ জুনেদ ভাই, আপনাকে অসংখ্য ধন্যবাদ। প্রিয় দর্শক মণ্ডলী, আমরা প্রোগ্রামের একদম লাস্ট পর্যায়ে চলে আসছি, বাট there is a few things left before I end the show. I forgot to ask actually. From আব্দুল মজিদ বেলসাইজ পার্ক থেকে ওনার প্রশ্ন যেটা হচ্ছে যে আব্দুল মজিদ ভাই, he has a 3-bedroom property in Belsize Park. That is North London, no?
Belsize Park is Camden.
Northwest. Yeah, NW3, I think. Now, he's got 3-bedroom. He's thinking to convert that into 4 bedrooms. What do you think he should do now? Do you think he should go first for the planning, or can you help?
If it's from my knowledge, I'm not an architect.
No, of course you are not.
So, but from my experience because we do a lot of refurbishment and development work.
Sure.
For any internal things like making it to 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom, some people can partition it. You don't normally need that. But what I would say is make sure that you follow the room size guidance of the council and the minimum room size, and that meets that requirement. And get a good architect to firstly draw the floor plans and make sure the property is livable, because it depends on the property as well. So if your property is and the clientele that you're looking at, it all depends on that.
Thank you very much. প্রিয় দর্শক মণ্ডলী, I am at the very last end of the program. We have to end the program now. সো আমি সবাইকে অসংখ্য ধন্যবাদ জানাচ্ছি BTS এর সাথে থাকার জন্য, এবং প্রাউডলি আজকে আমাদের যে গেস্ট জনাব জুনেদ আহমেদ, আবারও আপনাকে অসংখ্য ধন্যবাদ। এবং আমাদের আজকের এই প্রোগ্রাম দেখার জন্য আমাদের লুটন থেকে দুজন গেস্ট আসছেন, জনাব রুকন সাহেব এবং উনার ফ্রেন্ড। আই এম ভেরি সরি, আই ডোন্ট নো হিজ নেম, বাট ওদেরকে আবারও অসংখ্য ধন্যবাদ লুটন থেকে আসার জন্য। এবং প্রিয় দর্শক মণ্ডলী, BTS বিহাইন্ড দ্য সাকসেস চ্যানেল আয়ের নিয়মিত আয়োজন, এই আয়োজনে আমরা বিশিষ্ট ব্যবসায়ী, সাকসেসফুল ব্যক্তিবর্গদেরকে এবং কমিউনিটিতে যারা অবদান রাখেন তাদেরকে আমরা আমন্ত্রণ জানিয়ে থাকি। এবং আপনারা আজকে আমাদের জুনেদ আহমেদের স্টোরিটা শুনছেন, ওনার সাকসেস স্টোরি। ইনশাল্লাহ আগামী সপ্তাহে আরেকটা সাকসেস স্টোরি আপনাদের সামনে নিয়ে আসবো। ততক্ষণ আপনারা সবাই ভালো থাকবেন, সুস্থ থাকবেন। খোদা হাফিজ।